What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of MLB playoff action on Wednesday, October 8th. We're going to give out plays on all four MLB games on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the best chance of cashing today. We're also going to give out props on every single game, so slam that like button and subscribe to the channel and make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day. Let us know what you think in the comments. I personally read and answer every single comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, it was an up and down and all over the place kind of day. We had the Mariners at minus 130, and that was great. A comfortable 8-4 win before things got a little bit weird there in the bottom of the ninth. A great effort there from Logan Gilbert. If anyone took him over 6.5 strikeouts, he cashed that one for you. Also, Cal Raleigh hit a home run in that game, so anybody who took that recommendation cashed that play as well. We did have Crawford there to strike out at least once at minus 155, and Bro had some sort of out-of-body experience, absolutely crushing the ball, hitting a home run and never coming anywhere close to striking out. Feels like he watched the video and got motivated by me and took that really, really personally because he had a great night. We had the over there on that Toronto Yankees game. Easy cash there on the over 7.5. Took us only till the third inning to cash that one. Not super confident in the pitching situation for that entire game. So yeah, a bunch of offense made all the sense to the world to me in that game, and maybe that should have been the lock of the day if I'm being honest. We had Stanton to get 1+ hit in this one at minus 175, an easy cash on that one as well. Stanton got on the board early with a hit and an RBI, so anybody who's on Stanton to have a good night didn't have much to worry about there after the first few innings. Now, unfortunately, our dog of the day does not come through. We had Toronto there, that 6-3 lead evaporated pretty quickly. They end up eventually losing, and yeah, getting out hit 9-12 and giving up a couple errors. Just overall, not a very good day for them, except for those first few innings. Speaking of guys who didn't have a good day, Springer to get 1+ hit was our lock of the day, and he bricked out for us. A devastating over 5 night there from Springer. The Toronto Bats got off to a good start, but couldn't keep it going, and the entire pitching staff looked pretty bad. But with a 2-1 series lead, I'm sure they're not too worried, but we very unfortunately do not cash our lock of the day. So that was a little bit brutal. A 3-3 day, not what we were looking for. Let's see if we've got a bounce back in us here today. A pretty busy Wednesday considering the part of the calendar that we're in. We've got 4 games to break down, so we're going to go ahead and dive in right now. And first up, we've got the Seattle Mariners going on the road here to take on the Detroit Tigers. The Mariners come into this game obviously still with a 2-1 lead in this series, so I'm sure they're feeling fairly confident, fresh off that 8-4 win there yesterday. A very, very solid game, obviously, pretty much across the board. Gilbert having a good start like we were talking about. Flaherty struggling as projected. The Mariners bats staying very, very hot there. A couple errors there by Detroit definitely didn't hurt Seattle's case, so a very, very solid night out there for the Mariners. Now, in this one, they're going to hand the ball to Bryce Miller. He finished the season 4-6 overall, a 5.68 ERA. His last start was against the Dodgers back on the 28th of last month, and he wasn't amazing. He had 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave up 2 home runs. Just not a very good day overall, and the Mariners lost that game 6-1. We'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit in the playoffs. The kid has good stuff. He's had some very, very good outings at times this season. It's been a little bit shorter of a season for him in general, though, so we'll see what he can do in this matchup. He hasn't faced the Tigers so far this year, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that goes. The Mariners bullpen, a 3.38 bullpen ERA over the course of the postseason, is honestly a little bit worse. Like their numbers should be a little bit better than that. Obviously not fully locked in there when you come into a game with a massive lead. Those 3 runs they gave up there in the bottom of the 9th inning, maybe not as big of a deal as they would be, in some sort of close game. So we'll see what the bullpen does in this one. I'm expecting them to be pretty solid. The offense has been cruising. Obviously, the Mariners hitting the ball really, really well, coming up with 8 runs. Cal Raleigh hitting a home run there is a great sign. 2 hits for him, 3 RBIs. Rosarena, a couple hits in the game. The top of the order looking really, really good. And the bottom of the order actually getting the job done too. They scored 8, 3, and 2 runs over the first 3 games of the series. And over the course of the year, we all know the Mariners have been a pretty good team at the plate. 9th in runs scored, 10th in slugging percentage. They're definitely a team that can get some runs across the plate. So we'll see what they can do with Detroit in this one. The Tigers down 2-1, so a very pivotal game in this one. They're going to be handing the ball to Casey Mize, hoping he can do a little bit better than what they saw from Flaherty last time out. But yeah, Mize, it hasn't been super pretty here down the stretch. It hasn't been terrible. He did have a really good start against Boston back on the 26th, but On the first of this month, 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run allowed, walked 2 and struck out 1 in a 6-1 loss against Cleveland. In a game that Detroit really could have used, he just didn't look that great. So we'll see how long they're willing to leave him out there. Clearly weren't that willing to leave him out there in his last start. So we'll see. Could be looking at a quick hook. The last time he faced the Mariners was back on July 12th, right before the All-Star break. He got absolutely obliterated in that game, giving up 6 earned runs over 3 innings. So we are certainly worried about Mize. Detroit lost that game 15-7. So clearly, room to be concerned here about Mize. A little bit of room to be concerned about that Tigers bullpen. It obviously has not been great this season in general. And, yesterday they gave the bullpen, gave up 4 runs, correct? Yeah, gave up 4 runs. 3 of them were earned. Not a great night out there for the bullpen. So we'll see if they can look a little bit better here. But over the course of the playoffs, a 3.70 bullpen ERA. And over the course of the regular season, it was much, much worse than that. So we'll see what Detroit can do in this one. I'm not going to be holding my breath for the bullpen to be amazing. The offense has also not been great. 4, 2, and 3 runs so far in this series against the Mariners. They scored 6, 1, and 2 in the series against the Guardians. Just not a great offensive team down the stretch this season. They've definitely had plenty of issues. 11th in runs scored this year, 16th in batting average. But since right around the All-Star break, their offensive production just took a pretty massive nosedive. So certainly worried about the Tigers at the plate in this one. Maybe not that worried here going against Bryce Miller, but still, I could see them having a little bit of a tough time. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Mariners are minus 105. The Tigers are minus 115. A total of 8.5 in this game. Seattle, 40-41 on the road. 47-33-1 to the over on the road. Detroit 46-36 at home, 42-35-5 to the over at home. Right off the bat, guys, over 8.5 jumps out to me. That's a lot of offense, but I do think there's a possibility that could be, we could see 9 total runs in this game. I mean, we saw 12 in the last game. We have worse pitchers in this one. I think we could see more offense. I don't think that's rocket science. In terms of a side, I will take the Mariners in this spot. I do trust Bryce Miller in the Mariners bullpen and the Mariners offense a lot more than I trust any of those things for the Tigers. So definitely the Mariners and the over are reasonable plays on this game. In terms of some player props for this game, guys, I'll take Miller over 3.5 strikeouts in this game at minus 118. A very reasonable price. He's coming off a mediocre start there against the Dodgers back on the 28th of last month. But this kid has dynamic strikeout stuff. He hasn't faced the Tigers yet this season. I think that could help him. And getting to 4 strikeouts in this game doesn't seem that insane to me. I think the Mariners are going to want to leave him out there as long as possible. And yeah, Detroit, definitely a team that can strike out enough that I think Miller can get over this number. On the opposite side, I'll take Mize to allow 3+ hits in this one at minus 162. Not expecting anything great from Mize in this game. He only lasted 3 innings against Cleveland his last time on the mound. And the way the Mariners are hitting the ball, I expect him to give us some hits and not really last all that long in this one. And even if he does last a long time, giving up 3 hits is super, super reasonable. So I definitely think that's a good spot. But maybe my favorite prop in this entire game is Arena's hit prop, or any hitting prop for him, really. I'll take him to get 1 hit here or more at minus 184. Coming off 2 hits there in game 3 in this pitching matchup, I'm expecting him to feast. He's got 6 hits over his last 5 games. He's swinging a hot bat. I'm expecting him to continue to swing a hot bat in this one. Definitely a play that I think has tons of value. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link down in the description to get over there and check out all of the things we offer over there. We've got free picks that are exclusively posted there. We've got a free to use bet size calculator over there. We've got premium top confidence picks over there from our entire team of experienced cappers. Every single guy over there has at least a decade plus of experience covering his given sport. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. NHL just started, so those picks are coming out as well. And we've got NBA and college basketball right around the corner. So it's a fantastic, fantastic time to get in the mix over there at StumpTheSpread.com. Our cappers over there, guys, tons and tons of work they're putting in every single day on these premium picks, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration on every single play. And I'm not just talking baseball, guys. The amount of work that goes into those college football picks and those NFL picks is actually crazy. The NHL stuff is nuts to me. I know zero about hockey personally. I've been begging our premium NHL handicapper to get started on the YouTube channel and start making hockey videos. So we'll see if I can make that dream a reality for you guys over here. But yeah, it's a great resource. You should definitely get over there and check it out. Those premium memberships can pay for themselves very, very quickly. In the span of 1 bet or 1 day, it's very, very easy for those to pay themselves off. And in terms of results, well, the results have been pretty nice here recently. On the 6th, We went undefeated there, 3-0 on the premium side, so that was very, very nice to all three of those plays. Here on the 7th, things have gotten off to an interesting start. Cash the Mariners is a one-unit play. The Blue Jays, unfortunately, weren't able to hold on to that lead, but on the NHL side, the Blackhawks did lose, but the Avalanche are in great shape. They're up 3-0 right now at time of recording, so should be in for a pretty reasonable day there on the 7th as well. So hopefully another action-packed day here on the 8th on the premium side with lots more wins. So definitely get in on that if you're interested, but also you got to get over there to stumpthespread.com and get on our free email list. It's a great resource every single day. You'll get one email straight to your inbox. It'll have at least one free pick in it, oftentimes 2 or 3 free picks. Parlays are included in those emails. Also, lots of great information on niche sports like golf, WNBA, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of good stuff like that. Big write-ups on all the major sports as well. So definitely a fantastic resource to check out every single day. And if you're having problems getting those emails, check your spam folder. All you have to do to get on that list is go over to stumpthespread.com and set up a free account. And all they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name up on screen in every single video, but maybe more importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every 7 days. We're going to be doing our next giveaway here on the 13th, so definitely get in on that if you're interested. And also, if you're a channel member, get in the comments and comment just seeing if I would potentially give you the hoodie, because we've had some trouble recently. Some people have been winning the giveaway and not claiming their hoodie, so I've got a couple still to give away. Definitely get down in there in the comments if you're a YouTube channel member and ask, and who knows, maybe you could be the one getting that hoodie. But every single week, guys, put every single channel member's name on that big wheel. We spin that wheel and the winner gets the hoodie. So definitely get in on that if you're interested, guys. But we're going to go ahead and keep on going. We've got our next game on the docket. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers come into this game with this series well in hand. They're up 2-0, winning 7-3 and 9-3 there against the Cubs. So absolutely no threat here so far for the Brewers. They have to be feeling great about the way things have gone in Game 2. Another pretty comfortable win there for Milwaukee. They clearly just out-hit the Cubs 11-4. The Cubs had an error, and yeah, Milwaukee, it was a crazy first inning with each team scoring 3 runs, but the Brewers just kept on scoring, and the Cubs were completely unable to do that. Imanaga was terrible. A full bullpen start there from the Brewers looked very, very good. Mizorowski actually comes up with a win there, pitching 3 very solid innings, so great stuff there from the Brewers in Game 2. Now, in Game 3, Milwaukee's going to be on the road for this one, obviously. They'll hand the ball to Quinn Priester. This young 24-year-old, I want to say phenom almost, went 13-3 on the year, a 3.32 ERA, absolutely killing it. His last start, he did get hit around a little bit by the Reds. 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs. That was the first loss the Brewers took in a game that he had pitched in since May 24th. Absolutely bonkers level stuff. We'll see what he can do here against the Cubs. The last time he faced them was back on the 21st of August. 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed. And that was actually a game where he was throwing the ball terribly. He had 5 walks and 4 strikeouts in that game. So I'm expecting much better stuff from Priester in this one. He also had a reasonable start against the Cubs back in July. So he's got some history against these guys, and he's come out on top in those outings. So I'm expecting very good stuff from Quinn Priester in this one. I know that's not a major news flash for anyone. The bullpen for Milwaukee has been amazing this postseason. A 0.84 bullpen ERA is incredibly impressive stuff. Will they keep that up for the entirety of the postseason? Seems like a bit of a big ask, but right now the bullpen is looking fantastic. And speaking of things that are looking fantastic, that Brewers offense is absolutely on point, scoring 7 and 9 runs respectively through the first couple of games. They're hitting the absolute cover off the ball, and they had a great regular season at the plate too. 3rd in runs scored, a team batting average of .258. That was 3rd best in the majors. They were 2nd in the majors in on-base percentage, getting on base at a .332 clip. This is a very, very dangerous team at the plate. So the Cubs have an awful lot to be worried about in this spot. Yeah, Chicago, getting past the Padres in the wild card round. Good job winning 2 out of 3 in that one, but not off to a good start against the Brewers here at all. That was, not exactly a great look there. Didn't have anything to go in their way after the first inning. Imanaga got shelled in that game. The bullpen looked okay, but definitely not amazing. Yeah, a lot of weirdness there for the Cubs, and they're not hitting the ball particularly amazing here, outside of Nico Horner. He's hitting the cover off the ball, but other than that, it's been a little bit bleak. So we'll see what they can do in terms of bounce back in this one. They'll hand the ball in to get the start here to Jameson Taillon. He's 11-7 on the year, a 3.68 ERA. He's had a pretty good year. His last outing was a start there against the Padres. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, walked 0 and struck out 4. Doing that in the playoffs is very, very impressive stuff. And he was throwing the ball really well coming into the playoffs also. So I'm expecting pretty good stuff from Talon in this game. The last time he faced the Brewers back on August 19th, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed, walked 1 and struck out 4. So it, can't ask for a whole lot better than that. He did get shelled by the Brewers back in June, but that was leading up to an injury. So we'll see what Talon can do in this one. I'm expecting him to be pretty good. The Cubs bullpen has also been pretty decent this postseason. Not amazing, obviously, but decent. So got to give them credit where credit is due, although their bullpen wasn't amazing during the regular season, so that is a little bit concerning. Offensively, this team just has not been the same since the All-Star break. I know I'm going back to, ancient history, but it just has not been great. They finished the year 5th in runs scored, 13th in batting average, 10th in on-base percentage. That's all awesome, but so far in the playoffs, they've scored 3-3-3, 0, and 3. At some point, your offense is going to have to go off a little bit more than that if you're trying to win playoff games. Like, that's just the way it is. Your entire pitching staff is not dominant enough that scoring 3 runs a game is going to get you a ton of wins. So we'll see if they can find a little bit more success in this one. Looking at the numbers, the Brewers are plus 105. The Cubs are minus 120. A total of 6.5 in this game. Milwaukee, 45-36 on the road, 40-38-3 to the under on the road. The Cubs, 52-30 at home, 38-37 and 7 to the under at home. Despite both teams showing slight trends towards the under, 6.5 is not a big enough number here. I will lean a bit towards the over. Probably not enough to make the pinned comment, but I do think it's a reasonable spot. In terms of a side, I'm getting the Brewers at plus money here. I just can't pass up on that. I know the Cubs probably aren't going to go down 3-0 here, but it doesn't seem impossible. Not the way the Brewers are playing, not the way they're hitting the ball, and with Quinn Priester on the mound, feels a little bit silly to be backing anybody else. So definitely giving the Brewers here as a bit of an underdog, a potential dog of the day situation. Now, in terms of some player props for this one, right off the bat, I like Priester here, over 3.5 strikeouts at minus 115. Feels like a great spot as he's had over this number in 4 straight starts and even dropped 10 strikeouts back on the 18th of last month in a start against the Angels. The last time he went against the Cubs, he had 4 strikeouts, but also was clearly having control problems as he walked 5 in that game. So I do think we're going to see a lot better stuff from Quinn Priester in this one. I'm expecting a very solid outing from him. On the Cubs side, I'll actually take Talon here over 2.5 strikeouts as well. At minus 130, a very reasonable price. He's had over this number in his last 4 appearances, including a great 4 innings against the Padres there in the playoffs. His last start against the Brewers, he struck out 4 in his 6 innings, gave up only a single run. I do worry a little bit about the Cubs having a short leash on him, but I don't think he's going to struggle too much, so definitely think him to get 3 strikeouts in this one is very, very live. Now, on the Cubs side as well, I'll take Nico Hoerner here to get 1+ home run at plus 1,400, a crazy price. Almost feels like a misprint. He had a home run in game 1 of this series, and now going back home, I think there's a real shot he gets one out of Wrigley, and at such an insane price, I feel like this has significant value. Will I put a plus 14 in the pinned comment? I mean, probably not, but I do think this is a spot that has quite a bit of value. Last but not least on this game, I'll take Busch to get a hit in this one at minus 210. He's hit the ball extremely well here in the postseason and against the Brewers bullpen that hasn't been amazing, and a young Quinn Priester. I think he's in line to get at least 1 hit here in game 3. Next on the docket, guys, we're going to be looking at the Toronto Blue Jays going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Blue Jays do take the 9-6 loss there in game 3, so it looks like this is going to be a real series here as the Yankees come away with that 9-6 win in game 3. Very, very positive stuff there for New York. Not so much for the Blue Jays. They did get off to a great start to the game, built a 6-3 lead, but they eventually lose 9-6. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, the pitching situation didn't work out for Toronto in game 3, and unfortunately, we don't have a confirmed starter for Toronto here in game 4. So we'll have to wait and see on that a little bit. Obviously, the Blue Jays rotation has been reasonable. I'm not going to say it's been amazing in the postseason. Obviously, the bullpen has had its ups and downs as well. One of the worst bullpens by bullpen ERA here in the postseason, but that hasn't been a problem because their offense has been absolutely on fire, scoring 10, 13, and 6 runs so far in the postseason. Crazy, crazy stuff at the plate there from Toronto. I mean, we're just seeing tons of guys hit the ball extremely well. Springer was red hot before letting us down, going 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts there in game 3, but everybody else hitting the ball pretty well. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a home run for us. That was nice. Just the list goes on and on. Like, they, even in a kind of bad game, they still hit the ball pretty well, and they've been raking, and they've been a great team at the plate all year long. Like, that's the main strength of this team. 4th in runs scored, 1st in batting average, 1st in on-base percentage. Like, this is an elite level offense. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road against the Yankees, who had to be very relieved with what they were able to do in game 3. 12 hits, 9 runs scored. Also a couple errors there for Toronto were certainly helpful. Rodon was terrible right out of the gate, which we pretty much predicted, but still, the bullpen came in and was great. So we'll see if they can be great again. They had to be great over a pretty big chunk there. Also, the offense was amazing. Grisham, Judge, Bellinger, like all hitting the ball well. Stanton's hitting the ball extremely, extremely well. Like this team is, all season long they've hit the ball well. Obviously, the Yankees have been an offensive powerhouse. So we'll see what they can do here in Game 4. They're going to hand the ball to young Cam Schlittler, who's 4-3 on the year, a 2.96 ERA, but nobody cares about that right now. What everybody cares about is that 8-inning, 5-hit, no runs allowed, no walks, 12 strikeout performance there in that 4-0 win against the Boston Red Sox. Crazy work in that one. Hats off to a young guy having such an incredible outing in a huge pressure situation. Very awesome. Very, very awesome. Now the question is, can he do it again? They need it pretty bad. You don't want to go down 3-1. You want to even this series up. And the kid's shown that he's got the stuff to do it. We'll see what he can do in this exact matchup going up against a Blue Jays team that he hasn't faced since July. And when he did face them in July, it was his second big league start, I believe. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs allowed, walked 3 and struck out 3. And he just got better and better after that. So he also faced them. He faced them back. That's not actually a great look. Back on September 5th, he got shelled by Toronto. Only lasted 1 2/3 innings. So we'll see what he looks like in this one. I'd forgotten about that outing. That outing was not great. Had 2 strikeouts, but that was pretty much where the positives would end. So we'll see what Schlittler can look like in this one. It's obviously a high-pressure spot. If the Yankees bullpen has to come in and rescue him, it has not been great. It's been really, really bad right there with the Toronto bullpen. So we'll see what the bullpen situation looks like if they need to help him, but they really need Schlittler to go out there and be excellent in this game. Now, something that would help is if they could put up a bunch of runs and take the pressure off, and the Yankees have been the best offense in the majors this year by runs scored and slugging percentage, so that's going to be very encouraging. Here in the playoffs, they've scored 9, 7, and 1 runs, and then in that series against Boston, 4, 4, and 1. So hitting the ball okay, but definitely not mashing at the moment. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Look at the numbers, guys. The Blue Jays are plus 135. The Yankees are minus 155. A total of 8.5. These are brand new numbers too, by the way, guys. And these are numbers that have been posted without Toronto having a confirmed starter. So keep that in mind when you look at this. In terms of the trends, Toronto 40 and 42 on the road, 42, 36, and 4 to the over on the road. The Yankees were 53 and 32 at Yankee Stadium this year, 46, 37, and 2 to the under at home. In terms of the total in this game, without a confirmed starter there for the Blue Jays, it's a little bit hard to give much of a prediction. I will lean over just based on what these offenses have been doing through the first 3 games of this series, but I don't have a ton of conviction in that until I see a Blue Jays starter. In terms of a side, once again, I can't give you a great lean until I see who's going to be on the mound there for Toronto, but I'm tempted to lean towards the Yankees. We're just going to have to wait and see on this spot until we have a starter confirmed there for the Blue Jays. Now, in terms of some player props for this game, I'm willing to back Schlittler here a little bit. I'll take him over 5.5 strikeouts at plus 119. Could be a decent spot to fade this kid. Obviously, this is a huge spot for him coming off that insane start against the Red Sox, so it could be a letdown spot. But with the stuff he showed there and the Blue Jays striking out 11 times in Game 3, I think we could see him have a good game in this one and get to 6 strikeouts. I don't think that's too crazy. Now, on the Yankees side, once again, I'll take Stanton here to get hit once again, guys. At minus 197, had a hit yesterday, a couple RBIs. I think he should be in a good spot here, but with no confirmed starter for Toronto, we kind of have to wait on this one a little bit. Now, on the Blue Jays side, I'll take Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here to hit another home run at plus 328. Despite expecting Schlittler to have a good night, I think Guerrero to potentially get a hold of a home run is a reasonable spot here. Again, he's swinging it great. Got a home run in Game 3, and hitting home runs in Yankee Stadium isn't exactly all that tough. So I do think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here to take 1 yard is a reasonable play. I'm not going to be putting it in the pinned comment because I'm not a huge fan of home run props, but I do think this is a reasonable spot for him. Last but not least here, guys, we're going to be looking at the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Phillies come into this game probably pretty disappointed to lose each of the first 2 games. Tried to make a comeback there in Game 2, and it didn't quite work out. They eventually take the 4-3 loss after things get a little bit hairy there in the bottom of the 9th. Yeah, they can't be too happy with what they saw from the bullpen. Luzardo was okay, but yeah, the bullpen all year hasn't been great. And while some guys did have pretty good outings, like the last couple guys that ended up on the mound just gave up a couple hits, but a couple walks sprinkled in there. Luzardo actually had a very good start, but none of that was enough with Snell going out there and throwing a 1-hitter over 6 innings while striking out 9. So yeah, the Phillies pretty much have their backs up against the wall in this one. We'll see what they can do in Game 3 as they hand the ball to Aaron Nola. He's 5 and 10 on the season, a 6.01 ERA. Do I expect this guy to go out there and have an amazing start? Well, I didn't expect him to go out there and throw 8 innings of 1-run ball against the Twins back on September 26th. Maybe he could be a little bit rusty. He had 9 strikeouts in that game and looked amazing. So we'll see what he can do here against the Dodgers, a team he hasn't faced since April and didn't have a great time, but that was in April, so we're not going to take that too much into consideration. I mean, the last really good team he faced was probably the Brewers, and he got shelled by the Brewers back at the beginning of September, so we'll see what Aaron Nola looks like in this one. I'm not going to be holding my breath for miracles. I do think he could have a fairly short leash in this game, but I don't know why you'd be stoked to turn to the Phillies bullpen. They are sporting a 7.11 bullpen ERA here through the postseason, and during the regular season, they weren't all that much better. This was a bullpen that was very, very suspect throughout the regular season. Now, so far in the playoffs, they've scored 3 runs in each of their games, both of which were losses, so that probably doesn't feel amazing either. In their Game 2 loss, we did see them come up with 7 hits, but some just Schwarber struggling, Bryce Harper struggling. Like, those are 2 guys you're going to need to hit, or you're probably not going to win games if you're the Phillies. So we'll see what happens in this one as they go on the road to take on the Dodgers, who are cruising here 4-0 so far in postseason play, sweeping the Reds there in that 3-game series, or I guess, that best 2 out of 3 game series, and then winning each of the first 2 games in this one. They've got to feel fantastic after that 4-3 win. Now, it did get weird there at the end, but they hit the ball really well early. Snell was lights out. Ohtani getting a hit. I mean, he was only 1 for 5, but Mookie got a hit. He was good. Hernandez continues to rake. He's killing it. Freddie Freeman came through with a hit for us. Like, this team really, really swinging the bats well, and just everything is falling into the place for the Dodgers right now at the perfect time, and they're getting to hand the ball in this one to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This young 27-year-old right-hander is 12-8 on the season, a 2.49 ERA. He has been lights out recently. His only postseason start so far was against the Reds. 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 unearned runs allowed. He struck out 9 and walked 2 in that game, and he came into it. He's 3 starts in a row. He hasn't given up an earned run, and the 2 starts before that he gave up 1 earned run each. Like, he's been absolutely lights out. So I'm expecting him to have a very, very good time here against a Phillies team that he hasn't faced since back at the very, very beginning of the season, but he was lights out in that start as well. So that's even a tiny, tiny positive for him in this one. I'm expecting him to go out and have a very, very good outing in this game. The bullpen for the Dodgers has not been amazing. They gave up some runs there against the Reds. They're giving up some runs here against the Phillies. A 6.97 bullpen ERA for them in the postseason feels about right for a team that didn't have a good bullpen in the regular season either. So I expect that to continue to be a little bit of an adventure for the bullpen. In terms of the offense, 4, 5, 8, and 10 runs so far in the playoffs. Looking very, very good. Like we were talking about, everybody hitting the ball. They finished the year 2nd in runs scored and 2nd in slugging percentage, 5th in on-base percentage, and 6th in batting average. Like, this team can absolutely kill it at the plate. Like, you've got Ohtani out there. Like, you have one of the biggest threats you can possibly have in baseball, and that's not where the threats end there for the Dodgers. So I'm expecting them to have a very, very good time offensively, just in general here in the postseason and in this game. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Phillies are plus 150. The Dodgers are minus 180. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Phillies 41-40 on the road. The Dodgers 54-29 at home. Guys, in terms of the total for this game, I'm gonna lean towards over 8 a little bit. I think we're going to see plenty of offense in this one, primarily from the Dodgers. So I don't know if the over in this game will go in the pinned comment, because I do worry about Yamamoto going out there and throwing a shutout against the Phillies, but I do think over has some value. But in terms of a side, I'll definitely be taking the Dodgers here at minus 180. It almost feels like lock of the day material, pinned comment material. It's very likely to make the pinned comment. Will I make it the lock of the day? I am just a little bit nervous with the Phillies having their backs against the wall here, but feels like a very, very good spot there for the Dodgers. Now, in terms of some props for this one, I'll take Nola here over 2.5 strikeouts at minus 155. I know that sounds insane, but while his last 5 starts haven't been against amazing competition, he has been piling up strikeouts, but going up against a team as dangerous offensively as the Dodgers could be a little bit tough. So that won't make the pinned comment, but I do think even if he has a bad outing, he could get to 3 strikeouts. Now, a spot that I think is much better, I'll take Yamamoto here over 7.5 strikeouts at even odds. Kind of a big number, obviously, but he had 9 strikeouts against the Reds, has a streak of 3 games in a row where he had double-digit strikeouts not too long ago. He hasn't faced the Phillies lately, but I'm expecting an excellent outing from him in this one, and the Dodgers could really use a long start from him to protect that pretty mediocre bullpen, so I think they'll be willing to leave Yamamoto out there long enough to get up to 8 Ks. On the hitting side, I'll take Hernandez to hit a home run in this one. He had a home at plus 550. He had a home run against Nola back in the beginning of the season. Has been hitting the ball very well recently. It's been a bit since he put one out in the stands, but his last home run was late last month, and you have to like how he's been swinging it lately, so this seems like a reasonable long shot home run prop. I'll also take Teoscar Hernandez here to get a hit at minus 220. No way we can't take some positive hitting prop here on Hernandez the way he's been hitting the ball. He has 8 hits, including 3 home runs over the Phillies in the last 5 games. This is bonkers level stuff. He's hitting the cover off the ball. I think this is a play that could definitely make the pin comment despite the expensive price. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Make sure you hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and to help me get these videos promoted out there. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and want to see more. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description and get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out all the great stuff we offer there. Exclusive free picks that are only posted over there. NHL stuff over there every single day. All the premium stuff over there. It's going to be coming fast and furious here. We've got football coming up on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know how that goes. Tons and tons of football and other sports action. So definitely want to get in on that. Also get over there to stumpthespread.com and get in on that email list. It's a fantastic resource every single day, so you definitely want to be checking that out. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow for some NFL action as well as some baseball action. And you know where to find us, guys. We're here every single day. This is your home for more sports betting action.